Welcome back to my channel, Graveyard Tours. Now I have a very exciting cemetery for you. Please subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you would. Leave me a comment if you want to have any other information. I'm in Greenbelt, Maryland at the famous Turner Cemetery, and I'll explain what this place is. Let's first read the headstone. To the memory of Thomas P. Turner, who departed this life September the 26th, 1855, age 45 years old. Now, let's read this together. There's a lot, so I'm gonna read it because you may not be able to see the words together. The origins of the Greenbelt Cemetery. On the 2,623 acres of land purchased in 1935, where President Roosevelt first planned Greentown was to be constructed, 3 old family cemeteries were known to exist. These cemeteries belonged to the Hamilton, Turner, and Walker families. Remains from other burials in family cemeteries were uncovered when the land was cleared for construction and were relocated to the most accessible cemetery, that of the Turner family. When a construction worker died whose family was unknown, he was buried here, and so were a few residents during Greenbelt's early years of existence. These are the origins of the Greenbelt Cemetery. The Turners came to this site in 1759 when Shadrach Turner purchased a 125-acre farm known as Wildcat. Most of it lay to the east of this cemetery. Shadrach Turner later acquired additional farms, but he and his wife Sarah always lived on the Wildcat, where they raised 9 children. At the time of the 1776 census, they ranged from 1 year to 25 years old. Shadrach Turner was a devout Methodist. He and Bishop Francis Oss Ashbury are honored today as the principal founders of the First United Methodist Church of Hydesville, one of the oldest Methodist churches in America. Bishop Ashbury and various circuit riders always stayed with the Turners when they were in this area. Regarding the Turner Cemetery, the Bible of Sarah Turner recorded 12 deaths, beginning with Shadrach on October the 2nd, 1799, and ending with Thomas Parker Turner on September the 26th, 1855, who died at the age of 45. He is the only legible headstone remaining and is located next to this document. Native stones mark grave sites in this cemetery. These graves likely hold members of the Turner family or their enslaved persons. The Turners occupied the farm until 1935 when it was sold to the federal government. The cemetery was deeded to the city of Greenbelt in 1941. Okay, so again, here's the stone. So he died 1855. So this cemetery, these people who are buried here are from the 1700s. This is an extremely old cemetery, and what they did, they don't have no headstones like they said in the, but what they did, they flagged where they think burials are. And here's one that's been trampled upon. So you see these rocks here, those are most likely headstones. More here also. Very little left of this burial place, this cemetery. Every rock that you see that I'm viewing with where there's a flag is a headstone. And there's many of them out here. Quite a few, actually. So, again, this is Greenbelt, Maryland. I found this accidentally a couple of years ago. Well, I didn't really have anything to do, and I drove around, and I saw this way. Now, this is probably a headstone too. Oh, that's actually, I'm sorry, that's a root, tree root. Never mind. Here we go. These are all headstones. Now, they don't have the names or nothing, and like the document said, that probably, you know, they had slaves, obviously, They had family members buried here and the slaves all together, and didn't part any markers. It may have been because they were Methodists. Maybe they didn't, I don't know. Maybe they didn't believe in putting the names on the headstones, but they did it for the founding father of the family. But for the others, they didn't. That I can't explain. So, again, this is my oldest gravesite. Totally. I mean, we're talking 1700s. Now, there's poison ivy here, so there's quite a few of them out here. And there's another flag. Let's see if we can find. So all you're gonna see is a stone. And that's it. So let's count. There's one here between these two old tree stumps here. So let's count. Let's see if we can count all these. And I'm probably gonna miss some because it's overgrown out here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here's one under the tree. 6. And here's a bigger stone, 7. Of course, there's no writing on this. Let's see. Actually, there is some writing on this. Sorry for the camera work. I see a JT. JT right there. And there's some more writing that was worn down from the 1700s, folks. So what did I count? 7. I think I'm at 7. Here's 8. There's 9, 10. 2 more, 12. There's another 13. Another 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm counting 18 just off the top of my head, but let's see if there's any writing. So we did see the JT. Yeah. So that was really cool. So I counted 17, and there's more likely more. In fact, if I remember, I'm going to look at this again, show this again, because this is really cool. So you see the JT that's written on there, carved in there, and it looks like there was some smaller carving on the top of there. So there's the JT. So I was shocked when I discovered this place that, wow, you know, there's really some really old. Oh, there's another one that's 18. Really old history out here. And this is probably one of the oldest you're going to find in Maryland. I mean, maybe in Philadelphia or something, or you might find older. But we're talking from the 1700s. And here's a piece of a headstone here. The last time I came out here, I actually walked around, and more than likely there's more burials out here. I remember when it wasn't so overgrown. I was in here in the fall of last year, 2021, and I remember seeing other stones that were just sticking out of the ground that to me looked like, you know, because these other ones here, but now I don't see them because it's all overgrown here. And even with this, where this driveway is, there's probably burials, you know, some people's poor souls that are buried underneath here, totally forgotten about. Oh, here we go. Here's some. This is what I remember seeing. Okay, so here's some more flags. So, you know, I think I'm at a count of 20 right now. So let's see if I can walk in here a bit. Hopefully I don't get poison ivy. Okay. Yeah, so there's a couple flags there. So they even know that there's more, and there's probably even more. So there's probably many more out here that are totally forgotten about. I mean, we're talking the 1700s, so This is very, very old. I wanted to find out the oldest. We're talking early 1700s. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, they found it, what was it, 16? Let's look at this again really quick, just the date. I just want to see the date here. So the father died, the main guy, Thomas Turner, 1855. They settled this, where did it say? Okay, the census was done in 1776. 1776, the census were done. So, you know, they, well, it says here the Turners came to this site in 1759. Let me show you that too. 1759. The Turners came to this site in 1759, and then the census is 1776. Okay, so, I mean, you know, when they first came out, they probably had deaths right away. So we're talking about the mid 1700s. We're talking over 300 years, folks. Now, interestingly or not, this area here is still being used for burial sites. And I found, I just came over here and looked a little bit, and also there is a, here we go. Here's a World War II veteran, Stephen Polaschik, Sergeant, U.S. Army, World War II, January 23, died October 80, 1986. So obviously, this cemetery here is still being used. I saw a flag over here. It's probably military. Here, oh, here's another World War II. Richard Pilsky, U.S. Navy, World War II, died in 2004. Oh, and another. Okay. Thomas Freeman, U.S. Navy, World War II, died in 1989. And this is not, at first I thought maybe I came across a veterans, but there's there are some veterans, a lot of veterans here. Robert Dove, U.S. Army, World War II, died in 1989. Thank you all for your service. I don't really see others. Let's see, this maybe is a veteran here. No, it doesn't say. So interestingly not, in Pennsylvania, they put the flags at all the veteran grave sites that they can find. And of course, you know, in my other videos, I explained that they don't find them all. They find a lot. They do very good research and find quite a few, but they don't get them all. But here, I'm surprised that I'm not seeing, here's a Korean War veteran. John Sauls, U.S. Air Force, Korea, died in 1991. Thank you for your service. Yeah, so there's quite a few vets out here, but they don't have the placards like they do in Pennsylvania, or the flags. And I'm looking for other veterans. I would love to mention them if I can find them, but there's quite a few, and I would make this video probably too long for everybody, so I'm not going to look at every single one of them. But like I said, interestingly enough, back there behind those benches is where the mid-1700s cemetery is. Mid-1700s. When we're talking, you know, 300 years, I can't get over that fact. You know, it's just amazing to me. So here's some interesting ones. They are not. Now that's weird. Walter, read this. Walter Francis Penny, a scholar and a gentleman, a man of few words, who knew so many. How did we ever find each other? Leonie Penny Snattecker. Now that is an extremely unusual name. Okay, so okay, folks, that's going to be it. Very small cemetery here, extremely small, but so interesting that there is in the middle of Maryland, Greenbelt, Maryland, there is the Turner Cemetery, from the mid 1700s. Incredible, very incredible. So if you get the chance to come out to Greenbelt, Maryland, you got to stop it. This place is, oh, let me explain. So this place is in a industrial area. There's some hotels. So here's the entrance down there with this gates, okay? And there's a bunch of offices. It is a very industrial, it's sort of like an industrial area with a lot of offices. And then if you go down that road, Ivy Lane it's called, there's hotels. Hilton, 5-star Hilton's down there. I stayed in there one night. Actually, somebody paid for me to stay in there one night, so it was pretty cool. So anyway, that's it, folks. Lots of history out here yet that is undiscovered. I don't think anybody ever comes out and visits this place, you know, except for the people who are, you know, visiting loved ones over here. You know, these places, we can't let these places be forgotten. And like I said, I don't know, you know, the Park Service probably takes care of this place. I'm not sure. Maybe some church does. Maybe the Methodist Church does. I don't know. But very interesting, extremely interesting. And like I said, you know, we saw 2 flags on that side, just 2. But you can imagine there's probably a few more around here. I mean, these people were out here in a farm when the American Indians were still out here living, you know, and fighting. Even in Maryland, you know, every state had the American Indians out here. And imagine in the mid-1700s, there were still Indians living out here. You know, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. So we counted about 20 grave sites out here, but there's obviously, we know there's probably more. That's it, folks. Thank you. And then I hope you hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. Leave me a comment. If I'm doing anything wrong or doing anything right, let me know and how I can improve. I appreciate it, y'all, and until the next time, bye.